Hello everyone, today I wanted to make a video about the Sega Mega Drive, also known as the Sega Genesis, and my collection for it. So anyway, let's plug in a game and let's get going. This being a Sega console, the obvious first choice to talk about is of course the Sonic games. I have 3 Sonic games in my collection. 1, 2 and its weird cousin Sonic Spinball. I think they're all really good, but 1 and 2 are the best out of these 3. Sonic Spinball never clicked with me as much as the others, mainly because it's a completely different type of game. I would love to get Sonic 3 and or Knuckles one day, but they seem to be really expensive where I live. One of my favorite game genres is platformers, and Disney made a lot of great platformers back in the day, including this one, Mania. Not really a very adult theme, but it's still really fun and not at all for kids in terms of difficulty. The first level here is a bit easy as you would expect, but later in the game it gets very hard. I like this game so much that I bought the updated PlayStation 1 version with CD quality music and better graphics, but I still have a big soft spot for the original game's music. This game was one of those that came with my Mega Drive when I originally bought it at a thrift store of all places. I'm getting a bit rusty at this game, and also it's hard to see when there's games in front of the screen. Another genre that I really like is racing games, and I have these 2 for the Mega Drive, along with another which I'll show in just a moment. This one is F1, which has a really impressive 3D effect for the console, actually for 16-bit consoles in general. Stuff like that on the side is really true to life here, at least in scale. They don't look real, of course. Remember when I just said that I had one more racing game? Well, that was a lie, because I can't remember anything apparently. Number 3 is Super Hang-On, and number 4 is Super Monaco Grand Prix. Both are on these compilation cartridges that commonly came with your Mega Drive when you bought a console back in the day. This one, Mega Games 1, has World Cup Italia 90, Super Hang-On and Columns, while this one, the 6-pack, has those 3 games plus Super Thunderblade, Super Monaco GP and Alien Storm. These are really good value for your money because they tend to be really cheap and have a lot of games on them. They're still the full games, just like any other cartridge. This game, NBA Jam, means a lot to me, and I feel like this one needs a dedicated segment of this video. Because normally I am not at all into sports game, but this game has really captured me. And I play it with my dad from time to time, who also rarely plays video games. But in this game is a rare occurrence of us being basically equally good, and it makes it really fun to be equally good or equally terrible depending on how you view it. Anyway, that was some of my favorite games for the console, but now let's take a quick look through all of the games that I have. Starting with, I believe, my most expensive Mega Drive game, which is Aero the Acrobat. In really good condition, but sadly it's a loose copy. Aladdin is a really fun Disney platformer which you already saw a bit of. Shakan is one that I learned from a YouTube video by a channel which I don't remember the name of, it's in the corner. Crackdown is another loose game that I have. I don't really get what the story is in the game, but it's fun to going around a big complex and blowing people up and shooting them. You've already seen F1. And Lotus Turbo Challenge is where the music you're currently listening to is from. This one is in a fake case because this being an EA game, it didn't fit really well with my other loose games. being a completely different cartridge style. So I made a fake case out of this one, and you can see that this used to be a fake F-Zero case. Lion King, or Løvernes Konge as I would call it in Danish. I have the French version, as you can see by the label here, but it still plays in English. Mania was that black and white game you saw at the start. You've also seen NBA Jam already. Now NHL 95 is one that my dad apparently played back in the day on PC. Because of that he wanted to try it again and bought the Mega Drive version. So this is technically not mine, but it's in my collection because he doesn't collect games. Where else would he have it? We have Smash TV, which has been smashed up, as you can see on the label. It is a really cool concept, and it's only really playable if you're using 2 controllers. That's how can you make 3 buttons on the Mega Drive controller into a D-pad. If you haven't played this game, you have no idea what I just said. Sonic 1 and 2, you already know these. You might not know Sonic Spinball as much. This is Sonic's Pinball, a not so clever spin on words, and that pun was actually not intended, but I'm keeping it. Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Fungotron is a platformer which isn't really typical of this series. This one used to be a rental copy, as you can see, hence why it has some big marks on the front. There's also a rental sticker on the cartridge. Soup is a controversial puzzle game. Some people really like it, some people find it way too hard, and I'm one of the latter ones. It is just extremely difficult, and you will get that music from the game playing inside your head for days after playing it. Don't even plug in the cartridge, because you won't be able to sleep tonight after hearing that music. Not that it's bad, but you can't get it out of your head again. Then lastly we have Mega Games with Super Hang-On, Columns, Italia World Cup 90, and the 6-pack which has those are just Z plus Super Thunderblade, Alien Storm and Super Monaco. And then lastly, for some reason I have a loose copy of a Mega CD game. Do I have a Mega CD so I can play this? No, but it was really cheap, so I have it. I know, stupid. Now let's move on to the hardware itself. You can see my console of choice is the Model 2, which I have in the box. The box and the console sadly do not match. I used to have the exact console that goes in that exact box, but I sold it, which was stupid of me. I've regretted it since, but I didn't regret it back then. But anyway, that's the one that I have. I would like to upgrade to a Model 1 to get the better sound one day, but I haven't found one for a good price. Now what I have found for a good price is this, the Mega Drive Mini, which I also have complete because I bought this brand new, but for a really good price. This was the last thing that I bought before starting this YouTube channel. Then of course I have 2 controllers for each of these systems, and also for the original I have this thing which will extend the cable length because sometimes they're a bit too short. Then I also have this, the Game Genie, which works by plugging this into the system and plugging a game on top of that, and then you can use cheat codes that the developers did not intend inside of the games. Also, something which isn't really hardware related but still kind of cool is these 3 magazines that I have, which is from the Mega Drive era. There's Sega Power from July 93, which I'm reading right now. Another Sega Power, a bit older, from June 92. And then Mega Power, which is specifically for the Mega CD add-on, which I don't have, but I have a magazine for it. And I almost forgot, the video cable that I'm using is an RGB SCART cable, which provides the best picture possible on old consoles. But what's so special about this one is that it's not some aftermarket one from nowadays. This is the official one from back in the day, as you can see by the Sega logo on there. But anyway, I think that was it for today. I'll see you in another episode sometime. Goodbye.